Sean. Good job.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Kevin Selmeyer, State Fire Marshal. We're out here in East Lansing today. We're doing a Facebook Live post coming off of the LARA Facebook page. And we just want to give a big shout out to the Michigan Fire Inspector Society for putting on this event today. Also, the Michigan Community Risk Reduction Task Force has a part in this today. And then the East Lansing Fire Department and the Brighton Area Fire Authority. And we're going to do a side-by-side demonstration. It's done in two parts. It's going to be done with the first side. You'll notice when you look at the video as it proceeds that the rooms are set up exactly the same. They have the same type of furniture in them. On one side of the trailer, the fire is going to be let to grow to what we call flashover. Flashover is everything in the room catches on fire all the way down to the carpet. At that time, they'll knock the fire down using a fire hose. One thing that I want you to think about when you start watching this video is how fast this fire grows today with the modern fire or furnishings in a home. And think about if you're calling 911 right now because your smoke alarm's going off and you're getting outside, it's going to take the fire department some time to get here. So today we have a fire hose staged, and once the room gets to flashover. Flashover typically occurs with modern furnishings today in less than 3 minutes, and I think the timer will show that today. So, and we've seen it in testing that it consistently happens at the 2 to 3 minute mark. Some things, if your house is on fire, closing your door on the way out is an important thing, dampening down the fire. So I think it's important we slide over to Assistant Chief from Evans from the Brighton Area Fire Authority, and I'll follow up with some finish-up comments. Thank you.
Narrating our side-by-side burn demonstration. Working with me today, Fire Marshal Rick Koisberg. He went behind the curtain pulling the levers. He'll be doing a lighting of the fire, and we're getting the water set up right now. Lieutenant Inspector Derek Bungie. Derek is going to be working with a suppression crew. He's also with Brighton Area Fire Department. Jen Whitbeck with the Hartland Deerfield Fire Authority is going to be on the nozzle, and Todd Kowalski from Kalamazoo Township is going to be backup. Going to be our suppression crew for this today. So thank you for them coming out and putting on the gear, helping us out with this today. So our side-by-side demonstration, can't get too far away from that, is the whole idea behind this. We show this at our open houses, home fire sprinkler day, and any occasion we can. We break out our side-by-side burn demonstration to show the importance of residential fire sprinklers, which is, we know that many people in our community do not understand the concept behind residential fire sprinklers. We see them in our commercial buildings all the time. We're seeing them in all of our apartments buildings, all of our hotels being built, but you build a single family home and they're not being installed. We're also demonstrating how fast the fire moves. This fire on the right-hand side, on your right-hand side, we'll get to what's called flashover. For my firefighters, you understand what that means. For those that don't understand what a flashover is, flashover occurs when the temperature inside of that room ultimately ignites every combustible product in there. Might not be touched by a flame, but the temperature gets to the point you get off-gassing from the materials, and the vapors from that off-gassing starts to ignite. So we will get to flashover on the right-hand side one without fire sprinklers. Each of the cells has a smoke alarm inside of it. You'll hear those activate very, very quickly. I'll start a timer as soon as the fire is lit. You'll see the timer go up. The smoke alarms activate very fast. And then from there, we'll count how much time it goes to flashover. The flashover, the whole point behind that is to show people how little time you have to get out of your home when a smoke alarm activates. And I talk about the scenario if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, the whole family's asleep, you, the spouse, the kids are in their bedrooms, and you hear the smoke alarm activate. And it takes you a few seconds, if anybody's ever been through that before, it takes you a few seconds to figure out what the heck is that noise. And then finally, when you realize that's a smoke alarm going off, you wake up your spouse, you get up and you start to smell a little bit of smoke. Go get the kids, and the timer's going down. And the fire department hasn't been called yet. And you wake up the kids, you get everybody moving towards the exit of the house, you get outside, and that's when we want you to call 911. Get out first. And then you start to see this thing, the fire start to grow. And it becomes flashover, and every burn's a little bit different, but 3 to 5 minutes you're at flashover. And by the time you call 911, Central Dispatch has to notify the fire agency. You're either at a career department or you have a paid-on-call department, affects response times. And many times, this thing is reaching flashover before the fire department even gets notified or possibly even on the road. Pretty scary thought. We get a lot of big eye-opening comments from our public when we do this, okay? So then from there, we do the first one, we do the flashover first. And then we go to the second one, we show the differences. Now we change the same scenario, but we change it up, we put a residential sprinkler in your house, and we show the difference for them, okay? And it's eye-opening for them. It's a great learning lesson for our public. We get a lot of comments from it. A little bit about this trailer. The National Fire Sprinkler Association approached me about a year ago and said, hey, would you be interested in taking delivery, free of charge, of a side-by-side burn trailer? And like you guys, like most of you out there, every October we build our side-by-side burn units and drywall it, and it takes a day to put the whole thing together. Great learning experience for our young firefighters that never swung a hammer before, and let them understand a little bit of building construction, which is a positive, right? And then we got to tear it down and clean it up all afterwards. Now with this unit here, we can actually do 2 burns a day if we wanted to do that. When we're done with this burn, we brought in a dumpster right back over here. We'll hook up the trailer to our pickup truck. We'll drive it over to the dumpster and we'll throw all the burn crap right in the dumpster. Okay, it makes cleanup a lot easier than doing it the old-fashioned way. So we were having to take advantage of this. We are looking, when I say we, Michigan Fire Inspectors, we're looking at partnerships in order to get more of these into our state, to where we can move them around and put this on this demonstration on in all different types of communities throughout the state. So we're working towards doing that and making it bigger and better. Okay, so we're going to get started here in just a second. One of the things I always like to do, and like I said at the beginning, you might find other things work for you, but I always will talk about firefighter training, because I've got my community out here and I'm talking to my taxpayers. And I'll talk, what does it take to become a firefighter, the training that we do to get to even the initial training, and the ongoing annual training, monthly, weekly training that we do. I also take the opportunity and talk about the turnout gear, because we're all tax dollar supported. When I talk about this turnout gear, the coats, the pants, and the helmets, we're looking at about $5,000 to fully outfit a firefighter. Plus, we put an air pack on their back, which is another $5,000. So it's not do this job. We talk about safety. Why do we wear the air packs? And then we talk about it again after the black smoke comes out of the burn trailer. So we spend some time talking to our public about all those little things that they may not know about. They have no experience whatsoever in it, and wonder about, why does it cost so much to outfit a firefighter, okay? And then every 10 years, that turnout gear has to be discarded, and we have to buy new turnout gear for our firefighters, the NFPA requirements, and so to stay current with our standards. So we utilize that information also, kind of a public service information given to our taxpayers as well. Okay. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start it. We're going to get our suppression crew up here on the nozzle. So Lieutenant Bungie is basically be like the crew boss here. And also what happens is we do this. It gets to a certain point, I usually give them a high sign that they're going to go ahead and they put the fire out. We like to use straight streams when we fight fires. I ask my guys to usually open up the bail a little bit and try not to blow the walls out of the burn unit, okay? So no critiques on actual structural firefighting techniques. That's not what the purpose of this is. Rick's going to be my light guy. As soon as Rick lights said, he's going to holler at me. I'm going to start my timer here. Hopefully my iPad will not get too warm from here. Ready? Ready? Okay. There's an ignition hole in the back of the trailer, so the firefighters do not have to go inside of it. Fire is lit. Clock is running. Many of the burn cells will have a piece of plexiglass across the front as well. So here we are at 10 seconds from the fire being lit in the back of there. There is no ignitable liquids utilized in this. We use nothing like that. It's paper in a cardboard box behind the chair. So this is where I narrate to my public about, hey, what's that noise? You're waking up, you're trying to figure out what it is, and you realize it's the smoke alarm that's going off. So it's an incipient stage fire that's going on back there. I apologize for you if I get in your camera view. Just light smoke in the back. So you see the smoke starting to turn a little black in the back behind the couch. For you guys on that side, you can't see it. We're getting a little bit of black smoke. Normal combustibles inside here. I see a little bit of flame going behind the chair. Curtains hanging there. There's a little bit of some artwork or wall decorations. My wife goes to the dollar store and spends about $8 and gets some wall decorations for me every time we do this. So we've gone from incipient to we're a free-flowing fire right now, and we are a minute and a half into the fire starting. So by now the family's working their way out of the house, and they're getting outside to call 911. But we talk about the bad smoke, right, and the good air, the bad air and the good air, and this is why we got to stay low in smoke. All right, let's hold on to it. We're at 2 minutes now. So we're 2 minutes where we got a working fire going in the room and contents fire. Our curtains are well involved. If that was truly a window back there, that glass would be heating up, and that would be the first thing to give way and actually give us all the oxygen that we need to make this thing moving. Where I'm standing from, I can start to feel the heat pretty good. I love the wind direction. The nice thing about the trailer is half hour before you start your burn demonstration, if the wind direction changes on you, you can move the trailer. So we got good flow, good fire moving out the front of the burn trailer. We got fire running across the chair. The couch is caught on fire, the table in front, and I'm starting to see drop down fire. It's our confetti. Drop down fire is getting that carpeting going, and we are getting real close to complete flash over. We are at 3 minutes to flash over, and I'm going to ask my suppression crew to go ahead and move in. Now we're using only hydrant pressure for this. We typically have it hooked up to an engine, but we wanted to keep East Lansing Fire in service. Go ahead and douse it pretty good there, guys. Three and a half minutes to that. Now, 3 minutes it got to flash over, okay? Any fire department, by the time we were probably about a minute and a half possibly before 911 would have been called. Likely no fire department would have arrived in time to beat the flash over. Now, why is that happening? Why are our fires burning faster?
More plastic.
Okay, more plastic, exactly. Our room and contents today are much different than they were 20, 30 years ago. There is not hardly any organic material being used. It is all synthetics. And so therefore, these fires are moving a lot faster, which is giving our families less time to get out of their homes. We get to flash over much quicker, and this is the result from it. So we let them go ahead and douse that down for a couple minutes. We'll shut it down. It'll still off gas. It'll steam up a little bit. And then we do the second cell to show the difference of what happens when you have a residential sprinkler.
So you got a chance to see the first cell. The first cell that they set off was set up like a typical living room. It was set up
Just
with
so
a
that
couch,
you're aware,
chair, and a
around
table.
here, that this
And
water is
from the
moving
time
that
that the
direction
fire
also,
started
okay?
to it went to flash over that whole room, you can see even the
So,
carpet is burned,
one
so
of the
fire all the way
things
down to
that we
there.
talk about
It
with our
was
public is,
less than 3 minutes. So they're getting ready
is
now to light the
amount of
room.
water that we use.
That is,
okay, so this is just using hydro pressure.
that they'll
We're
use
probably
the,
about 100
sprinklers,
gallons a
so.
minute, 125 at best. But you know, today, 1 3/4 lines, automatic nozzles, or straight or smooth boards, whatever you're using, we're flowing 175, 200 gallons a minute, right? Versus what are we flowing out of our sprinkler heads? Anybody? Any guesses? 15, 16 gallons a minute is what's going out of our residential sprinkler heads. 15, 16 gallons a minute compared to 200. Okay? So people want to talk about objection of a sprinkler or the water damage. But, okay, but consider the difference in the amount of fire damage and water damage that we bring with us to put the fire out versus 15 gallons a minute. Do the math. Pretty simple. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to reset the clock here, which I've done. And I'm going to leave this right up
So
here.
they're getting ready to, they're going to move to the room that's set up. It actually has a single sprinkler head in the top of the room. They're going to light the fire the same way that they did
So now we're
before.
gonna demonstrate
Like-size
same
fuel
fire,
loads within
same
that. And when we
light.
use a term in
The
the fire
difference
service
is
fuel load, we're talking about the furnishings, the
there's a
furniture.
sprinkler system in
And
this
today
room.
with all of the plastics or in furniture, foam, rubber, the furniture is burning hotter, faster, and producing more toxic gas.
Fire is
That's why
lit.
it's important
Now,
when
one of the things, if
you have
you
a
take
fire
a
in your
look at
home,
the
you
room
get
to
out
the
as
left
quickly
here,
as
there's a smoke
possible.
alarm.
There's the smoke alarm
We're
going
at
off,
6
and you can see
seconds
the
right there,
fire.
Pretty quick activation. So there's a bunny rabbit, a stuffed animal on that chair over there. We actually have, and look, so here we have, cut me off, but at 17 seconds, we actually had water flow activation. The sprinkler head activated at 17 seconds. Now, the smoke is not getting black as the one before. When we point this out, we're not getting the heavy black smoke. We're getting the gray smoke, the white smoke. It's called a cold smoke fire. Cold smoke fire. The residential sprinkler heads are not designed to completely put the fire out. The fire department still has to come out and fully extinguish the fire. It's designed to hold the fire in check and stop the spread. It's allowing people to, you can actually crawl through that line. So in this case here, seeing a little bit of smoke coming from behind the couch, but we're a minute and a half into it now, and the fire is pretty much completely contained. Now I go for 2 minutes. We'll let it flow up to 2 minutes, and then we'll shut down the sprinkler. And then what we do from there is we pull that couch out and show that, yeah, there's some fire damage behind there. But the difference then becomes sprinkler and not sprinkler, and the difference. I had you guys go pull that couch out, turn it around. And yeah, this one looks like we have full containment, full suppression from that sprinkler system. We have had them in the past where they don't completely put it out. We have to use a hand line to finish up the job, which is not uncommon in sprinkler control fires. We still have to go in and do our job. But we'll take that couch there, we'll turn it to the side and show you, okay, there's the damage. There's your comparison between the two. Pretty significant. What I was telling you about the stuffed animal there was actually Rick's daughter. She was all worried about the stuffed animal that we were going to burn up in that fire. And it was in the sprinkled side. And when that stuffed animal survived the fire, she was so happy to see that. And you think about the message to our families, to our kids. What do our kids hold dear and dear to their hearts the most? And it's those possessions. Beyond mom and dad and brother and sister, it's those possessions. It's their favorite stuffed animal, okay? Their favorite toy. And there's a great example right there of what that fire sprinkler system will do and help it protect those things we hold near and dear to our hearts. Okay, so that's our demonstration. So what we do from this this point here, as we finish the extinguishment, and then we take down the barricade, and we let the public go off and get real close to that, and kind of smell it, and get a close-up look at it, okay?
So one of the things we want to point out today in part of Laura Live as we get ready to sign off, you can see there's a significant difference between the two rooms. The first room was you call 911 and the fire department comes and puts out the fire. Notice the room went to flashover in less than 3 minutes. And flashover is not survivable by any human beings in that room. Conversely, look at the room next door. Very limited damage. That had one sprinkler head in it. Also, a lot of times we'll hear, well, if only one sprinkler head's going to go off in the area where the fire is at. Not all of them go off. So they let that flow for 2 minutes. About 30 gallons of water was used to extinguish that fire. They're still putting water on this couch over here, and if that's still inside your house, there's still going to be more water damage. So one of the things is put the fire out quicker. It makes it safer for your family to get in and out. The fire department is still going to have to respond, and they're still going to come out and take care of you. But it's been great to be with you this afternoon. Kevin Sellmeyer, State Fire Marshal, signing off from Laura Live. And if you have any questions, reach out to Bureau of Fire Services, and we can explain to you about alternatives that anybody can put in their home.